NASCAR has a bit of an interesting situation with its schedule, and you can tell that they've tried to fix some of the perceived issues over the last couple years, but there's some things that are just more difficult than others to look at. And here's what it is. They got a bit of a conundrum here. The schedule generally is seen, especially by anyone who's not a diehard NASCAR fan, as too long, in quotation marks, at least calendar-wise. But you don't want to remove, and you can't remove any of the races due to contracts and due to the fact that fans would be, I'd say, rightfully pissed to have less racing than they already have. Seeing how they've shortened races, shortened race weekends, shortened the amount of time drivers can be in a race depending on damage or any of that stuff. It's really been a lot of stuff taken away from fans lately. But at the same time, you do have a few issues because of having such a long schedule that I think fans do need to be cognizant of. First off, you got a lot of head-to-head competition, especially in the last 9 or 10 weeks of the season. You have a lot of industry burnout, which might sound like a first world problem to a lot of people outside of it, but I gotta say, for those who are probably working in it, spending 38 of your 39 weekends of the year during the season on the road, not to mention working all throughout the off season, it's got to burn anyone out. Everyone deserves at least a little vacation time in their work, even if they don't get it. And the retention in the season. Like it or not, the numbers prove it, and this week especially with less than 2 million viewers, that even the diehard fans tune out at different points of the season. Yeah, most of the year is usually about 2.5 to 4.5 million viewers per race. Pretty good overall. That's not the case, though, at this point of the year. So let's get into it. First off, the playoffs have too much head-to-head competition against them. The big one's football. That is the 800-pound gorilla in the room next to the 100-pound person in the room. The pros play just about every day of the week at this point. Sunday, Saturday, Monday, Thursday, Friday, throughout the season, even at different points of the year on Wednesdays. The NFL is going to be basically starting the week after Labor Day and going all the way to the week before the 500, which means that, one, they had to move the Clash to 2 weeks before the 500 because of the NFL's expansion, but two, the big problem is the last 9 or 10 races of the year are going to have a giant cultural hub of relevance right next to them at all times. I mean, think of it like this. NASCAR's past week had 1.8 million viewers, which for most sporting events, honestly, is not actually that bad, but for NASCAR standards is abysmal. And then you have the NFL, who during the Fox slate of games and CBS, during that kind of 1 to noon playing time, had over 20 million viewers. And listen, I don't care how much you don't like the NFL. A lot of people are going to be in the comments saying, I don't watch football, I don't care. Well, you're one or two or a couple people. A lot of diehard fans will go for NFL over the NASCAR race that's going on at Watkins Glen. And the same thing can be said for college. You can't move these races to Saturdays or Saturday nights. Why? Because college football is huge in the Southeast, the Deep South, and the Midwest. And these are the 3 biggest hubs for NASCAR fans. And there's a huge crossover appeal between these two. Even if you move to Saturdays, you suffer. Baseball and IndyCar as well. IndyCar with the finale on head-to-head didn't really have too much of a chunk taken out. F1 too, but at the same time, racing fans watch racing. And baseball at the World Series, luckily you don't run into too much of an issue, but it's sort of similar with football. Then secondly, industry burnout and being on the road so much. You're on the road 38 weeks out of 39, 40, give or take. You lose money if you cut races, so the industry shouldn't be asking to cut races. And you can't race if you don't have the manpower, so the teams can't really talk about, well, just keep working through it. There does have to be a middle ground here, and this has been a growing sentiment for a long time. Can't avoid that either. And then the retention for the fans. Like I said, during the football side of the year, the ratings, viewership, all of that for NASCAR races goes into the tank. It's the longest season in sports. We are a marathon runner of sports fans. Any fan or team member or industry member, media member can feel the fatigue. And by the end of the year, unless you're somebody who's rooting for somebody in the championship fight, or maybe you're just kind of new to it, you're going to have some kind of burnout. You're going to need at least a little time between NASCAR races. If you add bye weeks, you run more into the issue that NASCAR was going into before they took away the bye weeks, running into football again. And again, I get people saying you can't just plan your entire schedule avoiding football, but I think you can minimize a little bit of this. So those are the issues, but issues to be issues are not anything at all. You need to have solutions for them. And there's 3 that I look at here. First off is better marketing. Listen, other sports can grow during the season that football has. Why can't NASCAR? NASCAR needs to get itself in front of more people, whether that's on social media, doing different ad campaigns, maybe working with different celebrities, and not in really bad ways like they did with Mario Lopez, but actually going with relevant celebrities. I mean, Kyle Larson is a prime athlete. Get him with some of those YouTubers. Those are big names that people will gravitate towards. And if you can sell him, you can sell the sport. You also can use dinosaur media, commercials on television, cross-promotion with different shows on the networks you have. You have Prime and Turner coming on. You can amplify the amount of viewership you have. Look at the Bleacher Report now having Motorsport coverage and cross-promotion with other sports or entertainment as well. There's a crossover with NASCAR fans and wrestling fans. Get some NASCAR guys around wrestling again if you have to. Whatever it has to be. The solution could just be better marketing. It also could be figuring out whether or not you're going to be able to gain more if you end up taking a loss with, say, a doubleheader weekend, or moving the All-Star race to a midweek race, kind of compacting the schedule more, keeping the amount of races, but giving teams a little less road time on the road during the season, and then also a bit of a longer off season. You have the same amount of races, just a more compacted time. Chase Elliott talked about doing this, said that's something that could probably give it a shot. And then just do nothing. Just already compact the schedule how you have it with the 3 weeks you pretty much taken away during the season. Can't really do much more, so take the popularity hits where they come and just keep on keeping on. I think NASCAR fans honestly want to do that, but NASCAR fans also would complain about that too. So, no win scenario. But with that, I want to know what you think. What do you think NASCAR should do with the schedule? Do you think they should try doing midweek races again? Do you think they should try doing doubleheaders? Do you think they should compact it more? Or do you think they should keep everything the same? There is no problem at all. The ratings going down is just something that'll have to be dealt with in some other way. Let me know down in the comments below. And while you're at it, leave a like on this video, share this video, and subscribe to this channel for more great and fun NASCAR content. Thank you so much to all my channel members for your continued support. And until next time, have a good one.